Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Silver Age Atom. This is part of the second digital wave, and this is Atom based off his Silver Age design. But you know what? This is my favorite way he looks, and I'm going to fit him into the Silver Age or modern teams, whatever I want. I printed this for the McFarlane Toy Store, so let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see, the top 22 moving parts. McFarlane Toys Digital, DC Direct, the Atom, ages 14 plus. Here is the package. We have the normal 7-inch scale Atom and a smaller, like 2-inch version. He's got 2 alternate hands, collector's card display stand, and a code to redeem a digital version of the Atom. That I care nothing about. One side of the package, the Atom from DC, the Silver Age. Other side, pretty blank. At the bottom, there's his barcode if it helps anybody. And the back side, here's Atom posed up. So no further ado, let's open him up. And I did get this entire wave from the McFarlane Toy Store. Superman, the Atom, and Green Arrow. I got these for half off. Even after shipping and taxes, I paid $50 even. McFarlane gave me a code because I redeemed the digital figures from the first wave, so pretty cool. Hopefully I'll get something for redeeming these digital figures, which I care nothing about. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He comes with 2 alternate hands, totaling 4 interchangeable hands, a smaller version of himself, display stand, collector's card, and the card with the code to redeem your digital figure, which I care nothing about, but I will most certainly be redeeming because I got 50% off this wave for redeeming the first wave codes, and hopefully I'll get something for redeeming these. Before we download all that, let's talk about and check out the figure. So this is the Atom. He's a scientist that his expertise is in miniature technology. He has the ability to shrink himself. He cannot make himself larger. He's not like Ant-Man. He can only make himself smaller and then back to normal size. Of course, we have the Atom Smasher, who has the exact opposite abilities, whereas he can get larger but can't get smaller. His real name is Ray Palmer, and he's a member of the Justice League. So let's take a look. Now, it says he's in his Silver Age costume, but this is really the only costume I'm familiar with. I'm sure he had something different than New 52, etc., but I'm happy to put this guy into my modern Justice League displays as well. He has the Atom logo on his forehead, old school style mask, the ears sticking out. He probably could have done without. It's on the Blue Beetle Booster Gold body, which they've used so many times, but is quite appropriate for him, as he's a pretty basic guy in a spandex suit. Atom logo also on his belt. Looks like double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, those ugly wrists that come with this body, the weird abs on the top. Like I said, very basic looking figure, but very accurate to a normal version of the Atom. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. It looks great. Just about perfect. I don't have any issues with it. The ears look weird, but I'm sure that's accurate to his comic appearances. And then here's the figure, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, starting off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand. Typical McFarlane stand, we've seen it a million times before, but this one says McFarlane Toys Digital on the bottom. Very thin, very basic. Here's his collector's card. As you can see, it's an image of the Atom from the comics, wearing the exact same outfit as the figure. The Atom. On the back there is a description. If you want to read that, pause now. Next, we have the digital code. You can see at the front, McFarlane Toys Digital, and at the back, a little area you can scratch off and redeem the code. Here are his hands. He has a total of 4 of them, 2 right hands and 2 left hands. Here's his first pair of hands. His right hand is a fist, and his left hand is a gripping hand. And here's his second pair of hands. His right hand is a pointing hand, and his left hand is wide open. And then here's the smaller, shrunken down version of himself. It's the exact same costume, but the figure has 0 articulation. It's simply a statue. But I still appreciate getting it, as it's nice to have the 7-inch version of him and a smaller, sort of 2-inch shrunken down version. He's wearing the exact same outfit. Wouldn't have minded if he was a little bit smaller, but I've already got that covered. Here's a couple other shrunken down versions of the Atom in all different various shapes and sizes. This is the smallest one that I have, and the outfit is very similar to this guy, although a little bit different. And then we have this one, which I think is one of his more modern outfits. But I really appreciate having all these different sizes of the Atom for some really cool action scenes. So the Atom here uses the Blue Beetle boosticle body that has been used so many times since it was first implemented. It was first introduced in the Blue Beetle boosticle 2-pack. So let's take a look. Obviously the heads are different. As you go further down, the torso and stomach are exactly the same. It has that noticeable 2 abs on the top, which I think looks kind of bad. If they're going to use this body a lot, they should at least make that a little bit more subtle, so it's not glaring reuse. Arms, exactly the same, even the hands. I always thought these wrists were really ugly. The diaper piece looks to be a little bit different. I'm sure this has been reused on some figure before. And the legs, identical to the bottom. So between these two figures, the only differences are the head, and the diaper piece, and the paint job. Here's a look at all the McFarlane DC Multiverse figures that utilize the Blue Beetle booster girl body. There are some other figures that may use a piece or two here and there, but these figures all use the torso and stomach area. Most of them use the arms and legs. Some of them have different boots, some of them are bare feet, but the majority of the parts are all shared here. And to tell you the truth, it works on most of them. They all look considerably different. There's only a couple of them that I'd say, I really wish they used a different body. But for the most part, I'm cool with it. I just wish they would fix the abs at the top. It just makes it so noticeable they're on the same body. And then the wrists just look hideous on this particular figure. And a lot of time I have trouble standing them up. I have to sort of bend one knee a little bit. And that's a little bit annoying. But it works perfect for the Atom here, that's for sure. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the figure and his accessories, let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing right at 7 inches tall, which can translate to just under 18 centimeters. And for his articulation, starting with the head, of course, it can rotate side to side. He can look up and down a pretty good amount. You can tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint goes up more than 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got this butterfly ring between his shoulder and chest, increasing the range of motion and covering the large gap that would be there. Bicep cut. Double jointed elbows. His wrist can rotate and it's going to be hinged. His torso, his ball joint, rotate around, forward and back. Another one in his waist, rotate around, forward and back. Between the two, very good range of motion in the torso area. Legs completely does the splits, McFarlane style hip joints, rotation, it's decent. Legs go forward about that much, back not at all. Double jointed knees. And then his ankles. Forward and back, rotate, tilt and rock, and of course, toe articulation. Here's a look at the Atom. He's in the streets and he's shrinking down. You can see the different stages. 7 inch, 2 inch, and less than an inch. Now let's check him out next to some other action figures, starting off with some other Atom figures. Here's McFarlane's Silver Age version of the Atom, next to their Page Puncher version. I much prefer the traditional one on the left. And here he is, next to the CW Arrowverse version of the Atom, DC Direct version on the left, and the Mattel version on the right. And then here's this Atom figure, next to all the different smaller versions of the Atom. Now we have the 7-inch McFarlane version, I guess about a 2-inch version, then about a 1-inch version, and about a half-inch version. It'd be cool if they made him in the Superpowers line. He could just fit in as another different size version of the Atom. Kind of cool, you can see as he's shrinking down to the smallest version on the right. Here are all of my different versions of DC's The Atom figures. Here he is, next to Atomica. This is a small McFarlane figure, and this is basically the alternate universe Crime Syndicate version of the Atom. Then, next McFarlane's Atom Smasher. Atom Smasher, I believe, is the grandson of the Atom. The Atom can go from regular size and shrink himself smaller. Atom Smasher can go from regular size and make himself larger. I think he uses a similar kind of technology the Atom uses. It's kind of cool to have both of them. And now, next to the Diamond Select Toys, Invincible Shrinking Ray. It's pretty much their version of the Atom. And here he is, next to Captain Atom. Here's the Atom, next to Black Atom. Now let's check him out, next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to the rest of the second wave of digital figures. We have Our Worlds at War Superman, Silver Age the Atom, and Longbow Hunter Green Arrow. And here, next to the first digital wave, we have the DC Rebirth Batman, Silver Age Hal Jordan, and DC Classics Aquaman. Then, next to the Entertainment Earth exclusive Sketch Hush Batman, and now, next to the Tarte exclusive Jim Gordon in the rookie suit versus Bloom 2-pack. Here's the Atom, next to the Tarte exclusive Metallo and Fire, and here he is, next to the New 52 Cyborg Superman and the DC Rebirth Tim Drake Robin. Then, with the Nightfall Batman vs. Bane 2-pack, and now, with the Dark Knight trilogy Morgan Freeman Lucius Fox, and finally, next to the Joker and Punchline 2-pack. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. And now, next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures, and some Diamond Select toys, here's the Atom, next to a bag of Little Bite muffins. And here he is, next to some DC Direct and NECA figures. Then, with both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now, with some Mezco and Mattel DC figures. Next, with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, with some SH Figuarts and some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, this is a very nice Atom figure. It's a pretty basic figure, but it works perfect for the Atom. It's a guy in a spandex suit with very little details, and the fact that it came with the smaller version of Atom just really seals the deal and makes this an excellent release. His accessories are fantastic, the extra hands, but more importantly, the smaller Atom. The sculpt and paint job, excellent. Like I said, it's a basic figure, but it works perfect for the type of suit he wears. The articulation is everything you'd expect from a modern McFarlane DC Multiverse figure. If I were to rate this guy, my first thought is a 7.5, but honestly, I like him a lot. I think he's worth an 8. He's a really nice figure. Even though he's basic, it's an almost perfect Atom figure. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.